So that blue light in the morning stimulates cortisol, gets us up and gets it running. It helps. It's like a signal caller to the body. After midday, so about noon, blue light is slowly diminishing from the sun. And so that's why comes sunrise and sunset, what color is the sky? It's primarily red or a red-orange tint because the blue is almost gone. And so when the blue is gone, that's telling the body, all right, let's lower cortisol. And now melatonin can then come up to start signaling the body to get ready for bed.
You're listening to the Almost 30 podcast, hosted by Krista Williams and Lindsay Simsick. Almost 30 started as a conversation about the transition from our 20s to our 30s. But then we realized life is full of transitions. So we expanded our mission.
We are an intuition-led, wellness-focused lifestyle podcast that promises to deliver authentic conversations, diverse points of view, and insights rooted in optimism, growth, and intention. The Almost 30 Nation community is a group of purposeful dreamers who are smart, passionate, and always seeking the full potential in every aspect of their lives.
At Almost 30, we're making magic together. We dream it,
and then we do it.
Thanks so much for tuning into the Almost 30 podcast.
Here we go. Welcome to the Almost 30 podcast, everyone. So glad you're here. Whether you are new to the show or you are an OG, we could not be happier to connect with you on a regular basis. I'm Lindsay Simsick. My co-host is Krista Williams, and we started this thing when we were going through our transition from our 20s to our 30s. And it's become a really great metaphor for every single transition. And so we're just here to remind you you're not alone, hopefully inspire, make you laugh, all the things.
Yeah, I'm just a girl from Ohio, small town in Ohio with a dream. Corporate world for 8 years, was able to leave that. And now we do Almost 30 full time, which is the fucking dream. And talking to you guys is an absolute privilege and a pleasure. I know that there is a lot of ways in which you could spend your time. So when you do spend your time with us, it means a lot. And we hope to bring you as much value, insight, inspiration, laughter as possible. So thank you so much for being a part of our community, for listening, for subscribing, for reviewing, and for sending us kind emails and DMs. We love to connect with you, and we love to find deeper ways to support you, whether that's through the Ambassador Program, which allows the women of our community to host events where they are, or through Podcast Pro, which helps uplift the voices of the people within our community, or it's going on tour so you guys can connect in person. All we are is about serving you in the best way that we can.
Yeah. And it's been funny. We've been on tour for the past 2 years. So if you've come to see us on tour, thank you so much. It's meant the world. We've had such an incredible time. We'll be going out on tour again later this year. But it's fun to freak people out. When we just walk up to them, we're like, hey, what's up? Because you guys are really our friends. And we see that both online and in person. I mean, even online, like people will DM us directly and give us advice or just like cheer us on or just say that.
I just get a bunch of alien memes.
Totally.
They just send me alien memes.
Totally. I've had a bunch of single girls be like, no.
Oh, yeah.
But then also a lot of people just be like, you can do it.
Oh.
Long distance relationships can work, all this stuff. But anyway, it's just more of like a larger friendship community. I didn't know it could be that expansive.
Yeah. I
didn't grow up necessarily with like a big group of friends. So this is like a very full circle moment where we can connect with all of you.
I didn't know that there are that many cool people in the world. Cool women,
true.
Just like all the women of our community and the men, are just so conscious and grounded. And I just, when I have been so insular in my life as far as like, I'm such a spirit person that my whole life has been kind of figuring out how to live in the physical world. So to find other people that are as deep and insightful and thoughtful and like conscious, not even and I don't mean that in an egoic way, just like that there are so many spirits that are living in this existence too, trying to figure it out has been like a blast.
It's been so nice. And we recently heard from someone in our community.
I'm just really a spirit trying to figure out my fake eyelashes that are falling off my face. Maybe.
I mean, you got You got what, a refill? They need to shed a little bit,
I know,
you know?
they need to shed a lot.
No, I love them. But they always do. There's like a few that just are like, nope, I wasn't meant for you.
It's just too much. Like right when you get, if you guys ever get fake eyelashes, right when you get them done, it's very interesting. They look very, very interesting, but whatever.
No, I love it.
Girls got to do what a girl's got to do. I've got to do whatever I can. So we actually got an amazing email that really was thought-provoking for me because it was someone that we had worked with at an event that we hosted at a college, Santa Clara University. Our dear Ellie was working with the Women in Business group. And one of their goals for the year was to have almost 30 come and speak to the women of their community. And we went to Santa Clara University in Northern California, and we hosted a Q&A session, or Ellie and her friend Megan hosted a Q&A session with us, which we talked about in a few other episodes. And there was maybe over 100 women there at Santa Clara University. And I was so impressed with how professional they were, how, prepared they were, how thoughtful they were. And it gave me such hope for, women that are coming up today, because I was definitely a mess. And our lovely Ellie has been in contact with us. We've seen her at events. We've just been emailing back and forth. And she sent the kindest note that I just wanted to read, just as something that inspired me. And I'm hopeful that it inspires you guys as well. So she says, I do want to share a quick story with you guys. During Milana Snow's Reiki healing at the Chicago event, I was in the deepest meditative state I had ever been in, all while sobbing. At one point, I saw two entities, spirits, within myself that I knew were both me. One was the human me, my mind or ego, the one that sometimes experiences self-doubt, lapse in judgment, etc. And the other was the divine, intuitive soul, the perfect me. We were dancing and twirling and running around. At that time, I had really been overwhelmed with which location I should seek out to for a job, because the options are endless. I decided to ask the soul me what I should do, and the soul me opened a door, and on the other side was LA. I share the story with you because since that event, I decided to really focus on pursuing opportunities in LA in response to listening to my intuition. I am so grateful Almost 30 provided and continues to provide opportunities to connect deeper with myself. This move feels right, and I'm so excited to enter the next chapter of my life. Thank you for being a part of my journey. And then she said a few other very nice things about Almost 30, but it was, and if you guys, to back up, we were on tour this year, and during tour, we bring a bunch of our friends on tour, people that are impactful change makers. One of them is Milana Snow. She's a dear friend of ours. She's a Reiki healer living in Los Angeles. And when we do sessions with Milana, it cracks everyone open. So there's 250 women in Chicago that are coming from the city. They're coming from work. They're coming from all these things. And they're coming in a room and they are completely letting go of everything outside of that room and connecting deeper with themselves. People are crying, people are laughing. There's just a lot of deep connection there. And it was really beautiful to facilitate that sort of energetic experience for someone like her age at such a pivotal moment in time. And it just really it just made me so excited and glad for her, that she was able to believe that experience and she was able to move forward with greater clarity based on that.
Yeah. And meeting her at that time, in college, and just remembering where I was at that time.
Same.
And almost not realizing what the dissonance was, what I was experiencing, why I was feeling, misaligned and somewhat anxious, just not understanding and putting the pieces together, connecting the dots. And so for her to, have a community and have these conversations on the podcasts and even other podcasts too, it's such an incredible resource. To be able to connect the dots just takes care of that unknowing, and at least is one step in the direction, as you said, just knowing yourself better. And it's just so beautiful. And she's just such a light. So thank you for writing that. That means so much.
I know. I wish I was like that. Dude, I love myself at all aspects of my time, whatever. But I wish in college I was like that. I don't know, man, to be that thoughtful about stuff. But I had a lot of compassion too, to feeling like there's a lot of options. Mm-hmm. I think that for some people, you could see there's a lot of different ways to go, a lot of cities to live in, a lot of jobs to take, a lot of paths to go on. And it can be overwhelming and confusing, especially with social media when you're seeing, do I be an entrepreneur? Do I do the corporate ladder? Like, do I start my own thing? There's just a lot out there and there's a lot of messages that people are receiving. So to be able to tap in and have clarity on that is like everything.
Yeah.
I didn't have that ever.
No. And I think the educational system is kind of catching up to like what is happening in the not corporate world, but the working world now, where people are becoming podcasters and entrepreneurs and really doing things different. And I don't know if necessarily, I could be wrong, but there are majors dedicated to helping people become entrepreneurs and also serving not only like the academic side of someone, but, how to build a business, how to manage your finances, how to really take care of your spirit through all of this. Like everything is so connected. And I think, they would be remiss to never focus on that because it is such a 360 experience.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And I do want to reach more college women. Like I just would love to.
Well, we've said that from the beginning. I think it's just a matter of, I think they're listening.
Yeah.
But I think, being in person.
We need to tap into Bachelor Nation.
Bachelor Nation.
We need to join forces with Bachelor Nation to reach
Dude, what the hell? What the hell?
Actually, they'd be like, no, fuck you. But I do want to find out, like, what is it? We actually got a sweet email from another college age girl. She had a little @edu email. And she was saying, she's like, I think that there should be a sister podcast to Almost 30, where it was like, she's like, I love how educational and informative and inspirational Almost 30 is, but I'm kind of looking for that, like the little sister to you guys.
Yeah.
Like a podcast.
Like the early 20s?
Yes. Where it's like more of the mess.
Totally.
Because I'm a dirt ball, but just more of the messy process part, which we could probably explore more of our own messy process. But I thought that was such a sweet idea.
That is a great idea.
I know.
Well,
taking applications.
We'll do it. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. So thank you, Ellie. That means the world, and we're here to support you.
Yeah,
whatever you do.
Here to support everyone in our community. So a lot of the women connect with one another through our secret Facebook group. So if you're on Facebook, you can search Secret Almost 30 Podcast Facebook group, or if you can search Secret Almost 30 and then your city, there is most likely a chapter and women that are meeting up in a city near you. So that is how a lot of our community connects and supports one another, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're in the corporate world. You live here, you live there. We are here for you. And then we also are on tour most of the time. We're going to be announcing our tour dates in the next couple of weeks. And we have our retreat happening.
Yeah, I'm so excited about the retreat.
2020 is going to be sick.
Our retreat last year was, I don't know, I felt like we entered into like this place where there was no time. We were in a beautiful group of 24 women, and the experiences, the shifts, the conversations, we laughed, we cried. It was super deep, also super relaxing in beautiful Malibu, California at Calamigos Guest Ranch. I mean, it could not have been better. And so this year we're really excited to bring back some of our favorite guests and also, add to the experience and really be even more thoughtful about, why we're doing this and the intention behind it.
Yeah, it's just going to get better this year. So we have a few changes as far as programming and just really learning from our first retreat. But Calamigos is a 5-star experience, beautiful and nestled in the Malibu Hills. It's one of my favorite places on earth. So be sure to stay on the lookout. That is going to be announced. That has been announced. It is available.
Go get them.
Go get them. Go get your tickets if they're still there. DM us if you have any questions. We're here to support you and make it as nurturing as an experience as possible. And then Podcast Pro is happening. So everyone, if you want to start, grow, or monetize a podcast, we have the digital resources for you. And that also includes calls, a goodie bag if you're the first 100 people. So there's a lot of special things happening with Podcast Pro right now because we just launched. It's a lower price. We're supporting you with more things and then more amazing announcements to come. But podcasting has changed my life. It helped me leave the corporate world doing jobs that I wasn't fulfilled by, that I was really unhappy with, to create a life that I love. And so I've been there. I've been in the cube. I've been hustling for years and years, trying to find my passion. And I really found it just by using my voice through podcasting. So I am obsessed with the medium, and I'm here to support you if you are looking to launch, grow, or monetize your podcast.
Yeah, we're excited to support you along the way. So again, yourpodcastpro.com. I'm excited about today's conversation. Really excited because this particular therapy product in particular has been such a game changer as it relates to my skin and more. But we have on Wes Pfiffner from Joovv. He is one of the founders and he is the director of business development as well. But damn, y'all, red light therapy.
I know.
Number one.
And Joovv's dope because, so the Joovv website, Joovv, the website has basically every study that I ever needed to know. So I use my travel Joovv on actually my back, my adrenals.
The Joovv Go, yeah.
Yeah,
so
the Joovv
good.
Go. I use it for my adrenal health. I've had adrenal issues in the past. I've had, hormone issues in the past, and it's really nourishing for that. It can support your mitochondria, reproduction, and adrenal health. I put it on my thyroid. So if you ever have a sluggish thyroid, it can help your thyroid, helps your skin. There's so many different things that it does. And Joovv.com has every single study and resource you need to be able to speak to it and experience the product in the best way possible. So Joovv.com for everything you need. And in this conversation, we're going to go into real detail and question what is red light therapy and why should we care?
Yeah. I think in my skin episode, I did mention the red light therapy, but I just wanted to say I do it every single night. I use the Joovv Go. It's super easy. I actually use it when I meditate before bed. So it's a really nice way to incorporate I put it on my face, generally all over my face, but sometimes I'll just put it in concentrated areas if I have a breakout. But I'm telling you, y'all, I didn't know or understand, but when I truly understood the effects of the infrared wavelengths and the way the light stimulates the mitochondria, as Krista said, I saw the results for myself, and it's been really incredible. I also sent it to my best friend as he was healing during a surgery on his hand, and he will not stop talking about Joovv.
So you know what I do, you guys? This is really bad. Don't tell Justin, but when Justin's reading or he's in bed, I'll put the Joovv right over his head to help stimulate hair growth. So basically, red light therapy has been proven to be a safe, effective, natural treatment for hair loss and hair thinning in men and women alike. So it helps increase hair count, hair density, and hair thickness. Justin has great hair. He has a great head of hair, but we want to keep that as long as we can. I need that hair on his head. So what I do is just place it when he's not looking right over his head to stimulate that hair growth. So ladies, if you want some nice thick hair for your mans, it is the best for that.
So in this conversation, we really go into the benefits. We talk about the science of it all, and also their journey to starting Joovv. It's always really interesting for us to learn about entrepreneurs' stories and journeys. And it was just a pleasure to talk with Wes. He is a wealth of information. So you can go to joovv.com/almost30. That's JOOVV.com/almost30. And then our code almost30 at checkout will give you a free gift with your purchase. I got the Superhuman by Dave Asprey.
One of our dear friends, Silky Face Dave.
Love Dave.
Lindsay and I both have the Joovv Go. We take it when we travel. We take it on the road. I use it all over, and it has been awesome. And I'm excited that you guys can learn, and I could learn during this conversation why red light therapy is the next big thing.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate you and love you and support you. We will see you this year later on tour. In the meantime, if you're looking to start a podcast again, Your Podcast Pro, we are here for you. And we'll see you on the other side of this episode. I found it, y'all. The organic vegan meal replacement shake that tastes amazing. Gemini is from Unico Nutrition. Gemini is delicious It's packed with 16 grams of protein from 3 organic vegan protein sources. They come in 3 flavors: Wild Berry Dreams, Cosmic Chocolate, and Haley's Vanilla. I love the vanilla. And it's made with 14 superfoods like organic spinach, acai, and ashwagandha. And it's the perfect solution to skipped meals. So you get the proper nutrition. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and contains 0 artificial ingredients. And did I mention the packaging is just gorgeous? Unico Nutrition also offers an incredible line of clean products. They have super technical products like hydration and protein products for athletes, along with a more broad, versatile product line like their vegan meal replacement. So I would love for you to check it out, uniconutrition.com, and you can use our code almost30 for 29% off plus free 2-day delivery. That is Unico, UNICO, nutrition.com. Use the code almost30 at checkout for 29% off. What a discount, plus 2-day delivery. The other week, I got the question, is there meal delivery services that I really love? And y'all, I have it this week. I'm so excited. Methodology believes that consistently nourishing your body with the right food is one of the best ways to heal your body, improve your everyday quality of life, and achieve optimal health. They design every menu item with their clients' wellness in mind, from breakfast to dinner. They specialize in clean, delicious versions of everyday comfort foods, because food should be honestly about joy and love. That is it, everybody. I adore these meals, and yes, they are comfort foods made super, super healthy. The pricing falls between $12 and $20, and their delivery zones are currently West Coast, all of California, Seattle, and Portland. All of their food is gluten-free, dairy-free, and refined sugar-free. They offer breakfast, lunch, dinner, and also snacks and pantry staples. I just want to shout out some things I'm loving right now. The Mediterranean rice bowl for lunch was delicious. The lobster vadouvan with turmeric rice. Come on, people. And they also have sweet and savory breakfast, so you have a choice. If you'd like to try Methodology, you can go to gomethodology.com. That's GOMETHODOLOGY.com. You can use the code almost30 at checkout for 20% off your first delivery. That is gomethodology.com. Use the code almost30 for 20% off your first delivery.
My mother's maiden name is Muller. Like Mueller. And my uncle would always be like, Muller, classic German name. You know us. Like he'd be like, so like German rep.
Yeah.
He would rep German so hard. And my mom just got 23andMe and they're like 50% Irish and like 10% German. Like they're not even really German.
Were you wondering last night what you were?
Yeah, everyone was like asking me, like, are you Scandinavian? I'm like, no, what is the deal? People have asked me that before. I'm like, I don't know what a Scandinavian person looks like.
I guess they just see blonde hair and they're like,
yeah,
or, you know what I mean?
Whatever color it is. I'm like, okay.
You know, that's funny. I just did that.
Oh, yeah.
Me, and I feel like
that's too much data.
Speaking of giving data, man.
I know.
What the heck?
I know. I feel like I know less about myself after this.
Oh, it's so true. You're like, my whole identity is shattered.
Yeah, I'm just a mixing pot. I'm
totally.
just in there somewhere. And it's like, you're European. And it's like, well, great. That really narrows it down.
Wait, what did it say?
I want to say I was like 40% European, and then there was like 20% Italian.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that surprising?
Not really, but
Okay.
it's like the I think like the Netherlands region where it said where I was from or my DNA went back to. Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, it was really interesting. It's I wonder how many of those tests that they have.
I know.
Well, 23andMe is connected to Google, yeah? Okay, just saying.
There you go, honey.
Anyway.
So now they own all of your online data and then all of your
blood,
all of your
what is it?
Internal body data.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone having that.
And you know, there's those at-home tests too. Like, you know, you can take a hormone test, saliva test.
Yeah.
You can do those, and you know, you think about all the data.
I've definitely done that
there.
before.
I've done.
Me too.
If it's saliva, I'm in.
Yeah.
No blood.
If it's easy and convenient, I'm in for it.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
If I can get it shipped here, it already comes with their return label, bada bing, bada boom. You know what I mean?
The blood ones, I had to do a blood one for a hormone one. and I hate blood. I can never do the pricker. Like I kind of get close. I'm like, I like can't. I'm like, and it won't bleed. And so I wait till I shave my legs and I have like blood from my
there you go.
like legs, and I'll try and drop it. But then
and there's like shaving cream in it. You're like,
no, but then I got it all over the card, and they're like, we can't accept this. So I was trying to get my like shaved leg blood in the circle, and they're like, this doesn't work.
Miss, we need a dot.
I know, they're like, we just need a small dot.
It's the anticipation of that when you're doing it.
100%.
I remember when drawing blood in science class in college and doing that, and I was just like, oh man, I just can't.
Yeah.
It's the anticipation. But
is.
if I like prick my finger, it's like, oh, no big deal.
Yeah.
What did you study in college?
I did pretty broad. I did pretty broad business. And then I ended up doing marketing. I really just had an eye for it. And I found myself being that nerd in class that was always raising his hand or talking or saying the answer when the teacher would talk. And I had an interesting journey through school as I did my first 2 years right away at a community college. And then I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just worked. And then I went back to school when I was 26.
Wow.
And I mean, when you're paying for school yourself at that age, you like take it so serious.
That's the damn truth.
And I remember my first class, I hadn't written a paper in 6 years. And I was like, do I even remember how to write?
Yeah.
And I remember I got like a B on it. And I was just so like enthusiastic about it.
You're like, they really like me.
I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not like dumb. I remember how to do this. And I sat in the front of every class.
Love that.
And I just taught, and I finished with a 4.0.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the future. I wonder if like kids like kind of do 2 years, get a little taste, and then go work, and then it's like, all right, let's get serious.
Yeah.
Because I
Let's
didn't
narrow
take it
this down.
as seriously as I should have.
No, and you don't, and you can't focus. There's so many things going on for somebody that young. And I remember doing a test, and I was like, this is the easiest test I've ever done. And I looked around and I saw kids with like D's and C's, and I was like, I just wanted to be like, how? Like you had to like try and get a D on this.
Wow.
Like it was so easy. But they're worried about, who's who. They're worried about
partying.
where we're going to go to party.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that, and it seems so silly now. So to your point, just wait.
It's all about agency, it's like when you have the choice and you are choosing it rather than when you think it's like being put on you to go to college.
Yeah.
If it's like the path that your parents think you're going to do, and then we're like, okay, no, I'm actually going to do this, and I'm serious and I have intention behind it. I would crush college right now.
Same.
Yeah.
So dumb.
It's like your mind just you crave the learn.
Yes.
And then once you crave it, you're like, oh, this is not too hard. And you find yourself, it's very easy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that
And you
way.
understand how it works a little more, how the questions are structured, what they're looking for, it's just like I have a groundedness that understands the system a little bit better.
Mhm.
And the relationship with the professor.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like I would never ask
Same.
for help ever.
I didn't even look them in the eye. I swear to God. I didn't look like it. Everyone's like, oh yeah, you don't remember all your teachers? I'm like, no. I didn't look at them in the eye.
Didn't want them to have my eye data.
Remember like one teacher, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But like that's key. Because if I think about if I'm a professor, if I have a relationship with a student and I'm looking at their paper and it's like not the best, but I'm like, let me help. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the relationship is so important as we've found out kind of in business now and all of that. But yeah, I completely agree. So, okay, can we talk about that trajectory? Like how the heck are you where you are now?
Oh man.
Where'd the light obsession come from?
Yeah. Oof. That has to go back to just my family in general. Just at first learning
European origins.
Yeah, something. And I definitely credit my older sisters and my mom for always outward thinking for health. And it started really with food. And I remember all of a sudden it's like we weren't buying Doritos anymore and stuff like that. And you're like, we're
pissed?
Yeah, I was like, this is stupid. Like, I feel great eating Doritos. You know what I mean? I feel awesome. And then first getting into like organic. And that was probably early 2010, So I'm from the Midwest originally. So
Where?
Iowa is where I'm born and raised.
I'm from Ohio.
Oh, cool. Very cool. And so this.
Cornbread.
Exactly. When you first learn about organic in 2010, that might not be new for folks who've lived out west, but going organic is like going against the grain totally in the Midwest. And so that was kind of the first, like, I guess maybe you call it rabbit hole into like alternative health, and so it just gradually has built from there. And I've done just about every diet you can think of, from vegan to vegetarian to one time I remember we did this like banana cleanse, and I was eating like so many bananas.
I've heard of that.
Did you die from magnesium like overload?
There's like a parkour guy. Were you following that parkour guy?
No, it was one of my sisters. I can't remember. I don't even think the lady's like active anymore, wherever she heard about this from.
Oh, the banana vegan girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, she's like popular on YouTube.
Yeah. And I don't know if she's there. I don't know what happened to her. We'd have to maybe find her.
The banana cartel came out.
And I want to say, but it was actually not that bad for me at first, because as I finished my 2-year degree, I just went and I always had framed like blue collar work, like building houses. And so you're always sweating a lot. And I always was very active in working out. So I found like eating that many bananas was like very hydrating, and I was burning off those calories. So it wasn't that bad, but eventually it's like, just like any diet, if you don't have the proper balance, you start to see where you're falling short. And so that didn't last very long. And so after that, my oldest sister, Melissa, who was one of the co-founders of Joovv, was struggling with eczema, and she had found and researched red light therapy. And so she went and signed up as a spa that was close to her home. And she's in Minnesota at that time. I'm still in Iowa. And it remarkably like cleared up her eczema within, 2 to 3 weeks of going for treatment. So it was like, whoa, there's something to this. Of course, I've heard everything by now. And I'm like, red light, you guys are nuts. Like my mom's telling me, I'm like, you guys are nuts. I'm not even listening. And so they looked online and saw, she couldn't really keep going to treatments. She has 6 kids. So you can't always find me time to go to a spa, and really wanted to continue treatments. So she asked her husband, Justin, my brother-in-law, who's an engineer by trade, like, can you rig something so I can have it at home? Because they looked online and there was nothing to treat your full body. There was absolutely nothing. There was only like handheld products that those websites that you're on where you're like,
yeah,
am I going to get like hacked or like a virus just being on this website? You know what I mean? And so that's really how the company was born. And I remember us getting one of their prototypes, and it sat in the corner of my house for maybe 6 to 8 months, maybe even 12 months, because it was so new. And it was like, this is like another wacky, I mean, we had tried so many things and been like, man, there's just, to me, in my eyes at that time, it wasn't consistent. Now I see it. Now I love it. Now I'm that way. Now I'm like, oh shit, I'll try it. Yeah, it'll do this for me. I'll give it here. I'll try it, And so I was very fortunate, very, very, very fortunate. And it wasn't until I actually started using it consistently that I saw, wow, there's something to this. I saw a definite difference in my recovery for athletics, and really my skin is the first things I noticed. And once I started seeing those benefits and seeing there's nothing like this, and being, kind of a gym rat and being an athlete, I saw this is going to be huge for athletics, and that's kind of the gem I kind of added to Joovv when I first started. Was this needs to get in hands of athletes and athletics, as well as just your everyday, consumer that just wants it for health. So that's kind of a little backstory there. And I started with Joovv working just for free for them for outreach. Early 2017, like January, and the company launched in late 2015. So 2016 was when they really first launched. So I was about a year. I'm employee number two at Joovv, and we're getting up there now because we're experiencing some great growth. So it's fun.
Wow.
For the I guess, what is red light therapy? Like, I was trying to explain it last night when I was in bed with my fiance Justin. I was like, he's like, why do you do that? I'm like, it's just like red light therapy. It just like, hey man. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, like blue light, and then you have this light, it's red. So that's, a little bit about why it works. He's like, what the fuck? And I didn't have anything to say. So what is happening? Why are you receiving these benefits?
It's a good question. And essentially what happens, let's just start over with light in general. Most people look at light as it's something that just helps you see better. But when you peel back the layers, light is really energy. And that's what the sun is really to the earth. It's energy. Everything is feeding off of the sun. Without the sun, the earth just is gone.
Yeah.
You can tell by the other planets that are further away, there's just nothing can live there because it's just not close enough
that
to the
we
sun.
know of.
That we know of. That's right. That's
Next
right.
conversation coming at you.
Future episode. And so what light, it really is energy. And our body responds really well to certain wavelengths of light. And it just happens to be in the red and near infrared range, which is red light therapy. So our products contains two wavelengths in the 660s and the 850s. And it's really between 600 and 1,000. And between those specific wavelengths, it actually can stimulate the mitochondria in our cells. And through that, it actually stimulates then to produce more energy, more ATP. So it's literally beaming energy into your body. Wow. And then through that, your cells can actually function with how they're supposed to. And that's why we see so many of these benefits that folks will read about that I'm sure you guys have read about, of joint pain, inflammation reduction, hormone health, which we can talk about, cognitive function, all these collagen, all these benefits stems from your body's literally getting energy, and it can function as it should, because we now live in a day where we just don't get a lot of natural light. At all. And in fact, I can't remember where the stat is from, but somewhere between 90 and 93% of Americans' lifetime now is being spent indoors. So 7% of our life is now, is outdoors, and 93% we're under artificial light.
So does the red light therapy, what is similar about the way, like if you go outside and get sunlight, what are the similarities, and should we still be going out and getting sunlight? I kind of know the answer, but I want to know kind of the difference. And then we hear a lot about blue light from our devices and things like that. So what's the difference between blue and red light?
So to your first question, like, can you get these wavelengths out in the sun? So the sun's going to be full spectrum. It's giving all the wavelengths of light. So if you look
rainbow.
Yep, exactly. Red light therapy, known as photobiomodulation, the technical term or the scientific term, is just a very specific band of red and near infrared. That's it. And that's what they've shown to stimulate the mitochondria. So our cells really respond well to that. It stimulates them. And essentially it gets energy from them. So that would be the difference of, you are getting that in the sun, but you're also getting a lot of other stuff too, right? You're getting ultraviolet. You're getting UVA, UVB, you're getting those wavelengths that can, burn your skin if you're out too long. So definitely still want to get out in the sun, because you're not getting any vitamin D from red and infrared. And there's also, you need bright blue light. So you ask that question, what's the difference? Blue light is a much higher Kelvin, and it's not going to penetrate as deep into your skin, but it really, really resonates with a gene in our eye called the melanopsin gene. And that helps stimulate cortisol. So in the morning, that's why you want to be exposed to bright light, right? That's why folks in the wintertime, they feel, almost seasonal depression disorder, is because it's that lack of blue light. So that blue light in the morning stimulates cortisol, gets us up and gets it running. It helps. It's like a signal caller to the body. After midday, so about noon, blue light is slowly diminishing from the sun. And so that's why comes sunrise and sunset, what color is the sky? It's primarily red or a red-orange tint, because the blue is almost gone. And so when the blue is gone, that's telling the body, all right, let's lower cortisol. And now melatonin can then come up to start signaling the body to get ready for bed.
Wow. That's cool.
And it's all controlled by light.
Encouraging our cortisol, which wakes us up, makes us feel good.
Yeah. And it goes back to keeping us on a circadian rhythm. So now let's fast forward to today's world. We just don't respect that. Not at all.
Disrespectful.
We're just going against it. So blue light, we're just overexposed to it. Just way too much.
So the blue light from computers and electronics is different than that blue light that we're talking about, though.
It's the same.
Oh,
it's the same. So if you're overexposing yourself to blue light,
you have too much melatonin?
No, it's going to halt that. So it's going to stimulate, it's going to keep cortisol up. So it's going to keep you awake.
Got it.
So at night when you're on your phone or you're on the computer, you're watching TV, it's keeping cortisol up, and it's halting the production of melatonin, releasing melatonin. And in fact, I was reading a study just recently that they did at Harvard of reading from an iPad 2 hours before bed versus reading from a book, halted melatonin production up to 50%.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a serious problem that we're facing. And then we go into the whole sleep thing. And I don't know how much you guys have been in tune to some of the new stuff coming out about sleep. Is that
an Oura ring on your finger?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I've found it being, of all the things you can do, comes back to the most simplest of good light exposure, a good diet, and prioritizing sleep. You know?
What's the sleep stuff that you're referring to?
I don't know. Dr. Matthew Walker. I don't know if you've listened to any.
No.
He's phenomenal. I would recommend anyone listening. You can either buy his book. It's called Why We Sleep, and it will blow your freaking mind on the benefits of sleep. And listen to, he did a podcast with Joe Rogan.
Cool.
I want to say like 8 months ago, and it'll blow your mind. Okay. I mean, the stats on it will absolutely. And a little nugget from that is, think about, you can fast for a long time, right? You can do a dry fast, you can do a water fast, but how do you feel when you got 3 hours of sleep?
I mean, drunk.
Wrecked. Just absolutely wrecked.
Yeah.
So that should just show you the prioritization of what's more important here. Is it food? Is it water? Or why can you not function if you go like with a night without sleep? You're just, the body cannot function.
You've heard us talk a lot about hemp and CBD and how we are using them. And y'all, I have a product for you, and it's so unique. Awaken is a product from Foria, which is a purpose-led company driven by the therapeutic offerings of plants, powerful testimonials from their community, and a passion to reconnect us all with our wise, wild nature. That is me, wise and wild. Awaken, this particular product I'm talking about, is incredible. It's a groundbreaking product that has been changing people's lives all over the world for over 2 years. This is an arousal oil that works with your body's own natural capacity for arousal and pleasure. For those who do experience pain, this product has also been tremendously helpful for discomfort, pain, and tension during penetration. And listen, I'm telling you, it smells amazing. It is wonderful for that part of your body. So, we have to be very, very careful. Their ingredients are organic, and they are committed to purity. And, they really care about what they are providing for their customers, and all the way to their packaging, which they are considering their impact on the environment. So they are very, very thoughtful there. So if you'd like to try Foria, you can go to foriawellness.com. That's FORIA wellness.com. Use the code ALMOST30 for 20% off the entire site. That's foriawellness.com. Use the code ALMOST30 at checkout for 20% off your first order. We have an incredible digital wellness company for you that will help you to pause at the start and end of each day, whether you're meditating, reflecting, so that you can align or realign your daily mindset. And what's great about Presence, PREZENCE, is that they have 4 different focuses. So if you'd like to be more present, reduce stress, build habits, sleep better, they have meditations, mindfulness practices, intentions for you. And in as little as 60 seconds, you can really ground yourself and set yourself up for just an amazing day ahead or a restful night's sleep, whatever you're looking for. The fact of it is that we're all being pulled in a million different directions. So if we can have a resource that really helps us to exist in the present moment, let's go. This is a deeply mindful app, and I can't wait for you to try it. So if you'd like to try Presence, you can go to hellopresence.com/almost30 for a free month. That's HELLOPREZENCE.com/almost30 Almost 30 for these clinician formulated and approved meditation content, multiple mindfulness doses, whether they're 30 seconds, 20 seconds, that you can start and end your day with on a mindful note. So again, hellopresence.com/almost30 for a free month.
So there's been a lot of things linked back to sleep, and one of the biggest things that they've made the connection to is Alzheimer's and dementia is a direct cause of not getting enough sleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was also too related to fat in the diet.
Yeah.
Not having enough fat and prioritizing like sugars and complex carbs. Also, that was in Grain Brain, and then Max Lugavere's book.
Oh yeah.
Which is called Genius Foods.
Genius Foods. There you go.
Genius Foods. So so the UV red light would help you sleep because it would do what?
So red and near infrared can actually help. So your body's very smart. So when you give it energy, everything's gonna be, all the production's gonna go up from all over the body. So if you're needing red and near infrared to help stimulate more melatonin, it can. It's not gonna stimulate your cortisol because it's a lower Kelvin. It doesn't resonate. So that's why it'd be a good idea for folks to, have red in their house at night versus bright blue light. And if you think about going even to why we have blue light, it was just because it's a lower cost, lower energy. I mean, and it's brighter. That's why we have blue light. I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason. And if you go through history and you look at when we first got the light bulb to where we are now, we averaged about 9.5 hours of sleep in the early 1900s, and now we average about 6.5.
Whoa. I heard you can hack your phone. I heard you talking about it. Hack your phone so it has red light at night.
Yeah.
How the heck?
What do you do?
How do people do that?
Oh, you just
Google it?
Google it. Yeah, if you Google it, and then I have it like the shortcut enabled, so I can just click my phone 3 times and it turns it just red.
No way. So so Google
just how to turn your iPhone red. And I'm pretty sure you can do it with...
Do you keep it red all the time?
No. So that's why we're talking about, you want to have blue in the morning. You want to stimulate, you want to wake up. And in fact, when I'm lying in bed, when this new hour change was a little bit, it was great that we got this hour change, because it was getting a little bit hard to wake up because I'm so used to using the light to wake up. I don't run to get a cup of coffee. I typically will dry fast until about 9 or 10.
So no water?
No water. No, I'll typically just dry fast just to keep, because a lot of folks will think they're truly fasting if by having coffee. They won't consider coffee to be breaking it. But the minute you have anything but water, you're starting that digestive process. It's you just kicked it off.
Right.
So if you're trying to do intermittent fasting or you're trying to do a time restricted eating, you just started your window at 8 o'clock, or 7 o'clock. So I try to do a little bit of that in the morning to wake up versus going right to like coffee. I usually go. I go out and get sun right away.
Have you heard stuff as it relates to light in the pineal gland?
That's a good question. I just got that question actually the other day too. Yeah, and I haven't seen a specific study on that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Because I heard it's like basically like a mirror that also does hormone regulation for a variety of different hormones. I actually think it is in correlation to melatonin releasing, but I need to figure it out because it actually reacts and responds to certain lights as well. And you could activate or deactivate it with the amount of light that you're putting near your pineal gland.
Yep. And that would probably go into the blue spectrum, I would imagine, is what's going to stimulate that. The higher the Kelvin, the more the body just resonates.
What's a Kelvin? Just a measurement of light?
Yeah, it's just the brightness.
Okay.
The brightness of it.
And the brightness would have the brighter, the more energy?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the higher energy it would have. Yep, okay. You bet. And the shorter, like blue light's a very short wavelength. That's why if we go into the difference of red and near infrared, the reason why we use both of those wavelengths in our products is red is a shorter wavelength. It's going to be more for the surface, absorbed by your skin, and it helps with collagen and blood flow. And near infrared is actually going to go deeper. It's a longer wavelength. And that's what helps with muscle recovery and joint pain, inflammation, etc. So really cool difference of wavelengths. Blue primarily is used if you're looking for like anesthetics, is to kill bacteria. So an esthetician would use blue light on your face, and then they'd rejuvenate it with red.
The red light.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'd love to talk about hormones and how the red light can improve just that balance and function.
Yeah, I think what we're going to discover here once we do more research is this is all leading back to really the light working inside out. So starting with hormones, I think seeing skin as a positive side effect that the light is working in the inside first versus thinking it's just doing something for the skin. So really interesting study we just got done with a group out of Minneapolis, Bristlecone Medical. And we looked at two groups, a control group and an experimental group. The control group was divided between males and females, and they were on a standard American diet and were staying on the standard American diet. So eating high amount of carbs, just whatever you would classify as a standard American, and introduced red light treatments on a daily basis for 12 weeks. The experimental group went from a standard American diet, added in keto, and did that for 12 weeks. And with the males, we saw an incredible increase in both free and total testosterone in both groups. But the results were even amplified even higher in the keto group versus the standard American. So as an example,
Keto group got red light and keto.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. And the reason you're getting a high fat diet versus a high carb, high sugar diet. And the men saw an increase of free testosterone in the keto group of the change was around 150%. So they tripled or doubled their free testosterone and total testosterone. Really cool. What we weren't expecting was the female results. And we saw in both groups, incredible increases in progesterone and decreases in estradiol. And we saw them both in premenopausal and menopausal. So I didn't know too much about, just me personally, didn't know too much about progesterone and how important that was for a female. But essentially, for those who aren't familiar, that's what makes a female a female. It's like the testosterone for men is progesterone. Yeah. So incredible results that we saw. And it's the first real study that anyone's ever seen as it pertains to female. And as a group, we've gotten so much anecdotal feedback back from influencers we've worked with or, just customers that said, hey, like I went and did a blood panel and my testosterone doubled. Is there research on this? And there's some light, but this is the real first one that is, there's actually real changes going on. And it's really cool. If you think about it, just adding in dosages of light, you can increase your hormones that much. So there's a few different theories on what's going on and why that's happening. And it all kind of leads back to, especially what the researchers have said to us is it's affecting the adrenals, and which is then stimulating DHEA production. And DHEA is the precursor to all the hormones in our body. And you need DHEA to produce progesterone, estradiol, testosterone, total testosterone, etc. You need DHEA, so it's stimulating that. So I think it's a really cool question to keep exploring. Like, what is going on? Why is just light stimulating that? And we, back to what we first said earlier, is it's stimulating mitochondria. It's producing more energy. It really boils down to as simple as that. It's pretty cool.
Wow. How much light to receive those effects, and then also like on what part of the body? Because I've been focusing kind of on face and anywhere where I have like scars, more of like a surface thing. So for the hormone benefits, where would you put your light? And I have a smaller one, so I know you have different sizes, but just curious.
So in this study, they were using our Joovv Solo device. So it's about 3 feet in length by about 8 inches wide. And they were treating from the head, down, I'd say to about the mid thigh. And it's, to tell you the truth of how, for a female, there's nothing that can pinpoint it. Other than we know there's benefits of shining the light on the thyroid and getting a benefit there. So so there is research there, but as far as that's what we're doing as a company is we're exploring more of this. So when customers ask, hey, I want to enhance my hormones, which product do I get and how do I do it? And those are just unanswered questions right now. But in that study specifically, it's the core of the body. You're hitting all the vital organs. You're hitting the brain. Some of those wavelengths will penetrate through the skull into the brain. So yeah, that's kind of the best I can answer that question.
Right.
I love when I turn it on my face and it hurts my eyes a little bit. Like I'm like, ugh. And then it settles down. I'm like, okay. Like I feel like it means my eyes have been out of balance with the amount of blue light and now they're being balanced with the red light. And I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
How far from our faces should we be holding it or your body?
About 4 to 6 inches.
Okay.
About
What if you just lay it on your body?
You know, you probably
What if you just want to
What if you put it in your underwear?
guys might be walking around with that little device in their underwear now. You know? You could do that. We found that at 4 to 6, you're getting a pretty high dosage of energy, and that's the difference between why you have to have not only the right wavelengths like we're talking about, but also the right dosage, the right energy. So all red light is not created equal. You can't just stand in front of, your Christmas lights and be like, oh, I'm enhancing my hormones standing by the Christmas tree. There has to be a right dosage to it. And we've been fortunate enough to work with some of the best researchers in the world. And one of them would be Dr. Michael Hamblin. He was at Harvard for a majority of his career as a researcher. He's on our scientific advisory board, and peering through, there's so many studies, but there's not any studies that's going to tell you, oh, this is the right dosage. So it's really been us working with him and getting the right distance and the right dosage of that is generally acceptable for most people.
I'm curious if in the future we'll figure out what each spectrum of the rainbow of light does.
Mm-hmm.
Like now we understand red, we understand blue, and it's like we've pulled out the benefits that we know from each of those. But if nature is always perfect and nature is a rainbow, there has to be parts of the other colors of the rainbow of our light spectrum that do things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm curious about it as well.
Like I wonder what green light does.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say green light.
Green. I mean, it's got to be doing something cool.
Mm-hmm. It has to. And the reason they're all together doing something,
right.
And that, that's probably as more research goes, I could see us adding in another wavelength in there, right? It's just as a company, we've been we've stuck so much to just what we know of science, right? We haven't tried to say, oh, buy our product because you're going to get, you're also going to get green. We want to know, well, why? What is it doing? And so I can see as more research comes that we'd add in more wavelengths. Yeah.
What about someone who's had surgery and what's happening in that recovery when you implement the red light? I have a friend recently and I got him like the mini and I'm excited for him to use it, but I also want to be able to explain exactly what's happening to him.
It's so the red, it's really good at stimulating blood flow. And anytime you can get blood flow to, an injured area, you're going to see the healing take place. Similar to why you would do, you see folks doing cupping or massaging. Once you get more blood flow to that area, healing starts to take place. And then when you can actually provide those cells and that muscle tissue with energy, they're just going to work better. Similar to how if you're eating a healthy diet, you're going to heal quicker from an injury versus somebody that isn't. It's just giving your body the fuel to help take care of itself. And we just haven't prioritized it. We just haven't prioritized light. And I kind of break it down as the body runs on 4 rhythms. And it's actually Dr. Sachin Panda's work. Are you guys familiar with that book? The Circadian Codes. It's a phenomenal book.
Cool.
And the body runs on 3 rhythms. One of them is sleep. One of them is food and diet. One of them is exercise. And we do a pretty good job at diet and exercise. But that 4th one is light. Our body is stimulated by light. In the morning, at night, it's always being stimulated. In fact, the more like you're outside during the day and being exposed to bright light, the stronger you're going to make your circadian rhythm, which then is going to just help regulate your body to release melatonin at the right time at night when you should be sleeping. Like it all goes back to just making light a big focal point. And it's incredible to see this nowadays of how we're even professional athletes now are they're making sure they get healthy light exposure because it just makes all the difference in the world. So yeah, I would say that's just the biggest key point for most people is they just don't prioritize light. They just don't give any thought to it.
Yeah. What about when people are in offices, like office lighting? What is that type of lighting called?
It'd be in the blue spectrum.
Yeah. And it's just the same light all the time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And if you're not exposing yourself to bright light, you're like we're talking about, right? The sun contains blue.
Yeah.
And if it's not strong enough blue, your body, it's just going to get out of whack. And so when it gets out of whack, it might drop cortisol, right? So someone in an office, if it's a dark lit office, they're going to feel naturally a little sleepy because they're just not getting exposed to that light. And blue light is really holding back melatonin, which is releasing the pineal gland that we're talking about, but it's also holding another pressure that builds in your head called adenosine. And that builds all day long. And when that's released, I'm sure you guys know this, when you start feeling like kind of heavy in the eyes and you're just like, man, I am just sleepy. That's when adenosine is released in the body. And that's what really induces sleep. Melatonin is really a signal caller that goes into the bloodstream to tell the rest of the body, prepare for sleep. And then once that dam is let go, that's adenosine that is released. And that's all held back by blue light. That's why if you ever have stayed up all night before and you get that second wind once the sun comes out, because your body's programmed to be on that rhythm. Blue light is out now. It's going to hold that back. It's going to hold that dam. But about 2 or 3, once blue light's more diminished, your body then just starts going, you just hit that wall and you just crash.
Yes.
I wonder too about light rays going through like smog and all the pollution that we have, like in LA, and if someone was in China listening, how that affects it. Because I'm sure that would change the quality of the light rays that we're receiving if it's going through like fucking trash in our atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Like
it has
chemtrails and stuff.
I mean, it's funny that we're talking about it, but it's simple.
I know.
Like health is really simple and we complicate it so much. And it's we work with his name's Dr. R. He works on the PGA Tour. He trains athletes. He's an MD. He used to work in the ER, and he talks about free medicine and stuff that's free medicine would be sunlight, right, and then sleep. It's such cheap medicine. Everybody, it's there for everybody. Unless you're in Canada and in mid-December you don't have the sun.
Yeah, truly. So what have you found too, as you've navigated this space, like being in health and wellness and this like innovative space? I mean, you just spoke to it where it is really simple and people are overcomplicating things, but what are you learning about this space and what do you want to do different?
That's a good question. I think the biggest thing for people is you got to go discover what works for you. If you're new to looking at different diets, you're going to look at, man, it's complicated. I got keto, I got paleo, I got vegan, I got vegetarian, I got now some people do carnivore. I mean, where do you start? And I mean, I was saying that earlier, how I went on nothing but bananas for a little bit, but you got to have an open mind. Try it. You got to find what works. And I think too often people just want to be told what to do almost, right? They want to maybe just, it's too complicated to go search for that, right? That's why they just want to go to the doctor, get a prescription, and the doctor, and the doctor can't know that much about you if you're there for 30 minutes talking to him and he's assuming you're telling him everything accurately. I mean, there's just no way.
Yeah.
You have to be in tune to that stuff yourself. So I think that's what's really cool about the alternative health and wellness space that we reside in, is these people are looking at it and they're testing things and doing things on their own. They're not listening to traditional, Western medicine. They're trying it themselves. They're looking into light. They're looking into diet. They're prioritizing sleep, and they're healing their body. So I think that's what I think to answer your question.
Mm-hmm. And then for last question about the light specifically for weight loss, what does it do?
So weight loss is interesting. It's, in our opinion, there's mixed data there, and we really don't run front and center with it. We have a couple articles. If you go into the database where we house some of those,
on your website.
Yeah, on the website, on the Learn page. It's so, I can't definitively tell you. I mean, I could give you some sciencey answer, but I don't think people really know what it's doing as far as weight loss. I would probably pinpoint it to, if you're giving your body energy, just like if you're eating the right diet, your body's naturally just going to shred that weight. It's going to reduce inflammation. And so that's what I really equate it to. I would never want to tell someone, buy one of our panels and stand in front of it and you're going to lose 20 pounds. You know, I mean, we've had it happen. We've had individuals say, hey, I've done nothing but red light different and I lost, 5 pounds in 2 weeks. It's not going to do that for everybody. That might have been what that individual needed at that time, So I think it's doing a lot of things. It's enhancing hormones, which then can enhance, weight loss. So I think there's just a ton of different things going on there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Can kids use it, and can you use it on your pets?
Yeah.
Yeah. And in fact, I have an old English bulldog. His name's George. And I'll just put the light on the ground and he'll hear it and he'll just naturally go over to it and lay by it. And so he loves it. And I found that with most people's pets is they like it. They really like it. So yeah, it's definitely safe to use on pets and kids. Yeah, absolutely safe. And I would probably argue kids are going through so many hormonal changes and growing that if you can support healthy cellular function, you really can't go wrong. So yeah, everyone in my family, all their kids do regular treatments once a day.
Oh,
wow.
I'm really excited to tell you guys about the collagen protein that I've been using every single day in my morning shakes. It is the Ancient Nutrition Multi-Collagen Protein. And what I love about this protein and this collagen is that we start losing collagen when we get older. So collagen is the most abundant protein in the human body. Up to 30% of all protein in your body is collagen. So this is 70% of your hair, skin, and nails, and nearly 100% of all your connective tissues are made from collagen. So it holds you together. So I realized when I started to get older that I felt like I had loss of collagen, and I wanted to find an amazing protein source to supplement with that. I love Ancient Nutrition because it's so clean. You can trust their brand. And I really love that the multi-collagen protein that they have is from various sources of collagen.
Yeah, I love the multi-collagen protein in cold brew. So I put that in my morning coffee, or I'll just mix it with either hot water or even ice water. I'll shake it up really, really good. But the taste is incredible. I think that's sometimes a challenge when it comes to collagen, in that people don't like the taste. And this brand, Ancient Nutrition, across the board is so thoughtful and thorough about the taste, about the quality. And I just love having it every single day. And I love their website because it's a resource. So a lot of times I don't understand why I'm taking certain things, but since being introduced to Ancient Nutrition, I have really dove into not only recipes, but also articles about certain supplements that my body might need during this time as I'm getting older and just either exerting more energy in one place or another. And it's been great to learn as well as feel better. So you can go to ancientnutrition.com and use our code ALMOST30 for 20% off one-time orders. That's ancientnutrition.com, and you can use our code ALMOST30 for 20% off one-time orders.
Enjoy.
You all know we love Mo Ellens, and I know Almost 30 Nation does. We've heard from you. Amy, the founder, has heard from you, and really all of her products, and she has new ones that I'll mention in a moment, but they're really making us feel more okay as humans, more in equilibrium. I am absolutely obsessed with their new skincare line. Do not sleep on the skincare line, y'all. The Living Cleanse is incredible, CBD infused, and this is really great if you're feeling a little messy and a little rough. This cleanse is just so nourishing. I also am obsessed with their Everglow, and the Everglow has this like beautiful rose geranium and neroli aroma, and it really suits and balances my skin tone. It creates this like radiant glow. It calms my redness on my skin, which I have, and protects from environmental toxins. She also has in the skincare line the Botanical Dew, which is a wonderful cream. Check out the skincare line. Let's read about it. Amy does a great job of educating her customers as well. So you can go to moellens.com, MOWELLENS.com. They have skincare. They have sublinguals, and they even have a honey called this Keeper's Stash, which is hemp enhanced avocado honey. It's delicious. If you'd like to try Mo Ellens, you can go to moellens.com. Use the code ALMOST30 for 10% off at checkout. That's MOWELLENS.com. Use the code ALMOST30 at checkout for 10% off.
I feel like you know so many of like the great health people in the space. What are some of your favorite health books that you've read that have really impacted you?
One of them I said earlier.
What was that again?
Why We Sleep by Dr. Matthew Walker. It's phenomenal. It'll blow your mind. Like it blew my mind. And then another one, The Circadian Codes by Dr. Sachin Panda. And that one changed a lot of things for me. And that's really what encouraged me to go into intermittent fasting. And it's not really about what I ate so much, but just when. And I just, for me personally, I've gone into like an 8-hour eating window, and I've found that I really can eat whatever I want in that 8-hour window, and my weight, me personally, just doesn't change. And that's eating carbs, fruit, you name it. And some people would tell you, oh, fruit's the devil, right? It just is full of sugar. But I would counter that and say, well, why does it grow then? Why does it, why does sometimes it just taste really good?
Yeah. Just candy.
Yeah. And I think it has to do with, eat it when it's in season, right? There's a reason the fruit goes away.
Yeah.
It just, and that's, I've started eating just from going to a local farmer's market and eating that food that's grown locally and it's fresh. When I go into the supermarket now, it almost just doesn't take, something's just different, right? It says organic on it. It says it's pesticide free, but something's just different about it. I don't know if you guys think the same thing, but it's just different.
It's a vibrational thing. I know that's annoying, but it is.
Yeah.
Everything's a vibration or an emanation of a vibration. So when something is just has higher vibrational soil, care, like food, water, then it becomes higher vibrational and it feels better. Like you're more attracted to it if that's where you're at.
And I found it agrees better with me. My digestion and the whole gut microbiome and how that, more research is coming out about that and how your gut has certain bacteria and it changes throughout the year. So that would be why eating seasonally would be encouraged, because your gut microbiome changes, So I can't tell you scientifically why. I just know there's just something to it, and I've really enjoyed, changing my eating habits to follow seasonally.
Yeah. And what's next for Joovv? I feel like, it's huge, and I just see so many people out there using it, and it's so nice to see the use of it and promotion of it in such an authentic way. I think not every brand can do that. But what's next in terms of products and just the mission?
We really want to bring light to 1 million. We want everybody, being to do light therapy. We think it's that impactful. And as far as short term, we're actively seeking more research. We want to get more data so we can tell our customers, and we can educate the market on how do you best use this. Right? How do you, to treat this, you got to do X, Y, and Z. We want to answer those questions. And it's tough right now because we can't just send them to their doctor. And we're forced to do that right now, but we know you're not going to get so many answers from the doctor because they don't know.
Yeah.
So we've really been positioned as the leading expert. And we know so much. And it's, so that we take a lot of responsibility for that. And we want to add to that, which is why we want to do more research and get more answers so we can educate everybody. So education is the future of what we want to do and continue to do.
For people that, I guess, last question, if they buy a UV or red light online, how could that be wrong? Or what kind of things could people be doing to cut corners if they were to buy a $20 one from Amazon?
Yeah, it's a slippery slope when you do that. It seems like it, and now it's becoming, I want to say since we've launched, we've had around 30 copycat companies that have popped up. Yeah, it's growing. But there's a lot of things you need to look at. You need to look at the specs. You got to make sure it's delivering the right power. You really need to make sure, has it been third party tested? Is it validated? We're an FDA Class 2 registered device, so we follow really strict protocols for safety. You don't just want to be shining any light on you. And so a lot of other companies, they really haven't gone through those efforts to make sure their product's actually safe and that it even works. So that's what I would say is just make sure to peel back those layers. And it's funny, we'll have people even like they're wanting to buy something different and they're wanting to get our approval from it. Like, hey, just tell me this is okay for me to buy.
Man, not how this works.
That's
hilarious.
Funny.
Yeah.
People are amazing.
They are.
I have to say too, just in using it, we like to multitask. But it's nice just to like have that 10 minutes or however long, just to be, whether it's meditation, doing mantras, or maybe you're listening to a podcast or music or whatever. It's just like, it's just nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard for me sometimes to make time to do that. So if I'm also getting the benefits of red light and it's forcing me to sit and slow down, close my eyes, whatever it is, I just think it's like an added benefit. And I don't know, I just feel really good about doing that for myself 10 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, really nice.
I want to get the big boy one.
Yeah.
Our friend Luke's story has the one that like takes up his whole door.
Yes.
He's like, you got to stand in front of it naked.
For the studio.
He's like, it's the best.
Yeah.
Luke is
Freaking love Luke.
Yeah, I do. I'm a big
Oh
fan.
yeah, he connected us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you, Luke.
Yeah. Luke's the
I am
man.
literally obsessed with him. Whenever I'm around him, I'm just like this. I'm like, oh my God, tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
We were just a couple months ago, we did some lifestyle shots and we did it at his house because
Naked.
we used his house because
His house is dope.
Yeah, he's just got such a
Did you do the
style
energy
to him.
thing?
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, that thing is really different. I remember I was standing around it and the biocharger, is that
Yes.
what yeah. We were standing around it at the Bulletproof Labs.
Yep.
Or the Upgrade Labs conference that was in Beverly Hills. And I remember I was like, what is this? Like, what is this thing? And they pulled the whole light bulb out. And like, I was holding some guy's hand, then he grabbed the light bulb and then the light bulb like lit up.
Damn.
I was like, what?
Cool.
I don't know what's happening, but clearly there's like a current going through. And if you're not in the current and you try to come in from the outside, it'll shock the shit out of you.
Wow.
And so my brother-in-law grabbed my hand to jump in the circle and he wasn't in it already and it shocked him. Just shoved like a bolt at him. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it's different.
At Luke's house, he has this thing where you grip with your hands. It's a biocharger. And it, I guess, is just, I'm not exactly sure. It's like maybe an electric current because we're electric beings. So it's supposed to just like
super loud.
charge all your, it's so loud. But he said Tony Robbins has it at like all of his houses. And Tony Robbins used it all the time. I think it's like $20,000.
Yeah, something crazy.
It's a crazy amount of money. I think the base mechanism, I think it is stimulating similar to red and near infrared. It's
Yes.
like it's dealing with mitochondria
Yes.
on a cellular level. Yeah.
There should be Joovv cafes
Yes.
where people can go and maybe get something healthy and then stand for 10 minutes or do whatever.
Yeah.
It's really cool that you say that because that's happening.
No way.
Yeah. I'd say in like business locations, we're in well over 100 now.
Really?
Yeah. Where people can go do cryo, they can go get an IV, they can jump in and get red light.
Yeah.
And it's not just like a nice add-on. What we're hearing back is like it's really popular.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I love it.
That's so cool.
There's actually a new place opening here that you guys would.
What's it
called?
called?
Remedy.
Oh.
I don't think I've heard of it.
Oh, it's one. We were there because they were in talking about learning about our product and seeing if it was a fit.
Is it cryo and stuff?
It's like traditional like ice baths. Like you get into an ice bath, they have sound bath, they have
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I think I do cryo a lot, but I think ice baths are actually better for you.
Yeah.
Like I think it's more effective than cryo actually.
Like cryo to me is fun,
Yeah.
but like ice baths it's
badass.
Yeah.
It is.
It gets you. I know there's something to cryo, and if it's good, if you can't jump into an ice bath, if you can just jump in and do cryo. But it's hard to replace jumping into a very ice cold tub. And you just, for that first 2 to 3 minutes is just so horrible.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, it's not too bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
meditative.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Wow.
How can people learn more about Joovv?
So if you want to learn more, you can go to our website, joovv.com. And when you're there, there's 2 spots I would really encourage you to check out. One of them would be the learn page. Just go learn and read the science. Don't go to the shop page. Go read about it. Go learn about what the light can do. All these different benefit categories from skin health to joint pain, collagen to, hormone health that we touched on. And then also go to the reviews page. Go look at what actually, our customers are saying. Those are completely unedited. They go right up once they're inserted. Some of them we have to take down because, it's almost like if that's too good to be true, we just can't.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, like they could, it could say something like,
I lost 20 inches off my waist.
Yeah. Or something
like I met Jesus.
Yeah, they're like, this saved me from divorce.
Or like I flew after this or something like that. But yeah, they're completely unedited, and just go see what they're saying.
Wow.
Just go read. I think there's over 500 on there. Yeah. So just go read about the reviews. And if you want to check us out on social, it's at Joovv Social on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Perfect.
Great.
We have almost 30 code?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yep. Code almost 30.
Almost 30 code, baby.
Highly recommend. Thank you for being here. That's so interesting.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah, it was great.
Truly.
It was great to chat with you guys. Thanks for...
We should have you at the festival. We should have a Joovv room.
Let's have
We're doing a festival next year. We should have like a red light room.
Let's do it.
That'd be so dope.
Let's do it.
To just have people
Good
be able to
call.
go into the room and just meditate and chill
Mhm.
and get some red light.
Yeah.
You'll find it that people are like almost like mosquitoes when it's on, because they see it and they're like, they kind of just all are drawn to it. What is this bright red glow? Yeah.
That would be a blast.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay, cool.
All right, y'all.
All right, guys. We'll see you at the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Wes, for joining us.
That was awesome. I love learning about alternative health processes. So joovv.com/almost30. We got the Joovv Go. It's the best.
Yeah, use that code and you'll get a free gift when you purchase. We're really excited again about our retreat this year in Malibu at Calamigos Guest Ranch. We had an incredible experience last year at our retreat. So excited to make it bigger and better for you this year. We go deep, we have fun, we relax, and we just can't wait to have you. So you can learn more at almost30podcast.com/retreat.
Yeah. So this sold out in the first week. So make sure to buy your ticket if you're interested to go. Email us if you have any questions. Events at almost30podcast.com. We're here for you. The women of the community from the 2019 retreat have a Facebook group. They talk all the time. They even do Zoom calls sometimes. So we're really about you guys having growth connection forever. And, it's just a beautiful place to do that. Malibu, Calamigos is live.
It's beautiful. And your Podcast Pro enrollment is live.
Last few days of enrollment for your Podcast Pro for us to help you launch, grow, and monetize the podcast of your dreams. Just really something that feels completely aligned to you. It doesn't need to be crazy. It doesn't need to be a full out thing, but we just really want to support you along the way. We recorded on our closet floors. We made tons of mistakes the first couple years, and we just found we didn't have a place to get all the information we need to start a podcast. So we wanted to offer that to you.
Yeah. So you can go to your Podcast Pro to learn more. And I wanted to share really quick a review of the week.
Woo-woo.
This is from Julia.
Thanks, Julia.
And she
I wonder
said,
if it's Julie from our team.
that'd be so nice. 5 stars is honestly not enough. I started listening to Almost 30 probably about 2 years ago when I was almost 26. I've always been interested in all things health, wellness, and spirituality. Finding Almost 30 felt like finding home. Lindsay and Krista are so kind, relatable, insightful, and hilarious. Every time I listen to an episode, I feel as though I'm sitting down to chat with my 2 old friends. This podcast has brought a wealth of information to my life that has inspired change, introduced new interests, soothed me through breakups, moves, and other huge transitions, made me cry when I felt like crying, shown me the path when I felt lost, told me that following my heart and intuition is always the best answer, and that if something doesn't feel right, it's not. As I edge closer and closer to 30, I'm so grateful to have found a community where I can always seek advice and know that I'm never alone. And the Facebook group really is the best place on the internet. The community of women is just amazing. Krista, Lindsay, and team, thank you so much for all that you do. You have changed my life for the better, and I am so beyond grateful.
Oh,
Thank
whenever
you,
you
Julia.
guys write a review, just DM us and we'll send you something nice.
Truly.
Yeah, thank you so much. That means the world. And I just love those because it really speaks to the women that support each other in the community. It's like
I agree.
us, but like it's us doing something, but it's really like the people of the group being there for one another, always responding, always replying is really beautiful. So thank you so much, Julia. We love you very much. If you guys want to be a part of the community, Secret Almost 30 Podcast Facebook group is there. There's also stuff in our shop that you can get for free. You can get beautiful wallpapers for your phone from women of our community that are amazing designers. There's just a lot happening that you can find for whatever you're interested in.
Yeah, almost30podcast.com. We love you and we will see you on the next one. Bye.